America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive. This will be a worldwide offensive. Fundamentally, it is essential for the American people to be alerted to this danger, to recognize that it is a danger that will not pass with the passing of the war in Vietnam, which has brought to our attention the fact that a number of young Americans have become addicts as they serve abroad. This offensive deals with the problem there, but will then go on to deal with the problem throughout America.
President Nixon never actually uses the word, but for everyone listening, it's clear Richard Nixon is declaring a war on drugs.
The briefing team will now be ready to answer any questions on the technical details of the program.
Nixon proclaiming this war on drugs is this epic moment. Nixon standing up as the law and order president.
But behind the scenes, there's another agenda at work.
In the eyes of the inner circle of the Nixon administration, the war on drugs brought together the peace movement, the hippies, the counterculture, African Americans. All of this stuff can be captured and addressed by force with law enforcement under the rubric of the war on drugs. And the trick is to create a system that deals with this without appearing to.
This announcement this morning is the culmination of a project that began about a year ago.
It'll be decades before one of Nixon's top advisors will allegedly admit to a magazine writer this deception behind the origin of the war on drugs.
The Nixon campaign had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and the blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did.
We got a problem with the blacks. We got a problem with the hippies. What are we going to do? We're going to declare a war on drugs. And we criminalize these elements and we broadcast it all over the nightly news. We can put the controls back on our society that seems to be out of control.
The power dynamics that forged the war on drugs will now reverberate across 5 decades.
Sometimes people say that the war on drugs really wasn't about drugs, and they state that like that's news.
Roll on, he's up in the corner.
It's only news to people who just haven't been paying attention. Of course it wasn't about drugs.
There was a fraud. It was a political maneuvering that was designed to keep certain aspects of the culture under control.